Welcome to the Daily Word for the Tuesday of Easter week. Today's reading is from the Gospel of St. John, chapter 20, verses 11 to 18. But Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb, and she saw two angels in white, sitting where the body of Jesus had been lying, one at the head and the other at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." When she had said this, she turned round and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? For whom are you looking?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." And she told him that he had said these things to her. This is the word of the Lord.
Why would you be anxious? In the Jewish tradition, a period of 24 hours begins at sunset with darkness and ends at sunrise with brightness. The verse of Genesis reads, "The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, Let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day." The Bible verse mentions that no sooner had Mary Magdalene arrived at the empty tomb than her eyes welled up with tears. The Bible verse has barely detailed the time Mary Magdalene had visited the tomb, nor whether Mary Magdalene had travelled alone or with Peter and that particular follower of Jesus. However, there is no gainsaying the fact that Mary Magdalene, believed to be of Jewish descent, had a long-held belief that the decent burial of the deceased was essentially crucial. As the body of Jesus was removed, it was reasonable for Mary Magdalene to sob. Mary Magdalene wept. She sobbed and looked at the empty tomb. Meanwhile, she saw two angels in white, seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. The white garment, often worn by angels, epitomizes the heavenly world. The presence of two angels symbolizes that the missing of Jesus' body is under the will of the Almighty Lord. It is noteworthy that the two angels ask why Mary Magdalene was weeping, but did not declare the resurrection of Jesus. The question posed by angels may allude to why you would weep as Jesus had resurrected. At that moment, having been inundated with unbearable sorrow and deep fear, Mary Magdalene had taken no notice of the silver lining of God's grace. The phrases "on the first day of the week" and "it was yet dark" used in John's Gospel quintessentially exemplify the writing style of John. John deliberately employed the term dark to refer to the spiritual darkness, that is, people may not believe in Jesus Christ, not fully understand or know of Jesus Christ, or even reject Jesus Christ. Mary Magdalene had hardly comprehended the resurrection of Jesus Christ, which can be reflected in the reaction she had when catching a glimpse of the empty tomb. As it is yet dark, people may hardly receive the silver lining of God's grace. Let us have a time of reflection. Why would Mary Magdalene believe the body of Jesus was removed rather than believing in Jesus' resurrection? Throughout our lives, we have experienced the spiritual darkness. What would you lean on to overcome such a moment? Let us pray. The risen Lord, thank you for overcoming death on the cross. The resurrection after 3 days of death has brought us hope and glory. May your truthful love surround us ceaselessly and strengthen us in the virtue of faith, hope, and love. We would put the Christian teaching into practice on a daily basis. In the grace of the Lord. Amen.